If you would like to know when part 2 of this guide series is going to drop, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And if you want more Dragon Ball Fighters guides, please subscribe and let me know in the comments. Thank you guys. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and yes, it is here. It is finally here. Part 1 of our DBS Broly guide. Yes, this is going to be going over the basics, his basic BNBs, his block strings, and going over his normals, frame data, yada yada. Everything you'll need to know to take your very first step into yeeting and deleting people with this character. So first thing is first, right? His normals. So we have 2L. By the way, annotations will be in the description. We have 2L. Actually, let me turn on my inputs for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, we've got 2L, 5L, 2M, 5M, 5H, his charged 5H, 2H, his key blast, he can shoot up to 5. And he has a beam that's 2S, right? 2S. And then he has a grab headbutt that's 6H, right? Now let's get into his frame data now that you guys have seen a basic showcase of his normals. 2L is 6 frames. 5L is a nasty 10 frames. This is his auto combo. Note, his auto combo is not like other auto combos. It only allows the first 2 hits to come out on whiff. That hit must come out for his auto combo to play the cinematic. Now, his 2M is 14 frames. 5M is 15 frames at point blank. It can be anywhere between 15 to 17 frames if you hit it as late as possible, as I messed up right there. But you see right there, it's 16 frames. Right there, it's 17. His 5H is 15 frames. Charge 5H is 38. His 6H is 28 frames, and his 2H is a dreadful 17. Now, he has some unique properties to some of his buttons. He can chain his 2M, so he can do it up to 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? However, you can only chain 2 stomps into 5M. So you can do this, but you cannot do this. You see how I pressed medium and nothing happened? You are not allowed to chain more than 2 M's or stomps into his 5. Some unique properties that he has, his 5H and charge 5H actually have armor. So let me show you guys that. It's armored against non-projectile moves, but it also loses to low attacks. So we're gonna set Gotenks to do a crouching light attack, right? Whoops. As you can see, I ate the JL, and damn it. Let me do 2M instead. As you can see, it loses to lows, so you just got to be careful when throwing this out. This is really only like guard cancel bait, or like trying to bait reflect. That's really what it's for. But speaking of that, let's get into the block strings. Now let's get into his air normals, right? So he's got JL here, good hitbox, really good hitbox. This and his JM are used in his rejumps. All of his air normals are used in his rejumps, actually. But as you can see, JL doesn't hit as low, but JM does. JL you're gonna want to use if you're like jumping up at people, and JM you're gonna want to use if they're like under you. JH is just a regular JH. It hits pretty deep, but it also hits very high above his head, which is what makes his rejumps possible. But that's for another episode. That is going to be for episode 2. And then he also has J2H. which is an air grab. It has minor tracking properties, but don't just throw this out willy-nilly because as you can see, the recovery is abysmal. There's a lot of recovery on whiff, and then he has a lot of recovery when he lands. As far as cross-ups go, JL and JM are fine. More than likely though, you'll want to use JM because it hits lower and it hits at a farther range. If I could do Jesus. Oh my god. Don't worry about it. But just go over his special moves. He has 3 special moves. Oh, and I also forgot to mention his JS. This is used for his corner combos. Let me set Gotenks to stop doing that on counter hit. Don't worry about this until we get into the corner. It's decent to use in neutral. You can't super dash through it, and it jails into super dash up close. But keep in mind, since it is a Ki Blast property attack, they can reflect after it. But yes, his special move. So he has Raging Quake, which is 236L. Again, the annotations will be in the description and probably before the video starts. So this is the light version. Excuse me. The medium goes full screen and it's a little slow. Well, it's a decent amount slower. Excuse me. Then the light. Well, it's only 6 frames slower. But this one reaches full screen. And then the heavy version is faster and also reaches full screen. Fun fact, this into that is a frame trap. So keep that in mind for people that want to press up on you after you hit them with your beam. And this also jails into Vanish. What a jail means is that they cannot do anything after they block that and you vanish. So some attacks like this don't jail into Vanish. I'll show you an example right now. Let's have him guard first only, right? He'll guard the first attack. Anything with a gap, he will not block. So, see how he got hit right there? But if you do this, he doesn't get hit. Let's get into the block strings. First things first, you never want to start your block strings with 5L. It is way too slow. And as you can see, his frame data is very bad. It's horrible. Everything he does is punishable. So you're always going to want to do a block string when you make someone block. There's no staggers on this side. He's not privileged like my boy Tohan over here, where you have a -3 5L or a -4 2L, or blessed by the gods, a -3 5M. But here is his basic block string. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 2L. That is his basic block string. As you can see, the inputs on the left side, that is going to be your true block string. You do this if you want to make them block to an assist, and so on and so on. Now that's one of his special moves. He has another special move called the Eraser Blow. This also jails in the Vanish, provided you cancel it on the first hit. And this move is armored as well. It beats everything. It only has 1 hit of armor though, so it beats lows, beats projectiles, provided you only get hit 1 time. If they have a single hit beam, it'll go through it. It beats jump and attacks, super dash, everything. The only thing it loses to is throws and level 3. So, that being said, let's do something real quick. I want you guys to tell me, well, not tell me, I want you guys to take note of what happens, right? So, you see this is a true block string, right? Now look at this. Now what happened there? What happened is that there's a very small gap between this and this. There's always going to be a gap right there. Now the reason you want to do that sometimes is you want to do frame traps with Broly sometimes, so then you can catch people with this. His command grab. So the game with Broly is that you want to scare and condition your opponent. Also, special note, that is not a true string. You will never have a true string into his stomps. The only thing that stomps will beat is if they mash a button. Their gap is 6 frames, so they can jump and vanish and reflect out. So be very cautious when using that. Use it on a, I guess, player-to-player basis. You know, if you pick up on their habits and you find out that they like to mash in your strings instead of trying to jump or vanish away or reflect, you could throw out the stomps. If they do reflect, you can just 5M your way back in, provided you catch it fast enough, but it's also character dependent. Now, I also didn't show you guys how 2H interacts in his block strings. It's the same thing as Eraser Blow. There's a gap. So let's set Gotenks to do the fastest counter option in the game, which is reflect. I mean, not reflect, vanish. That's not reflect, which is vanish. So as you can see, oops, frame trap in there. As you can see, you can vanish out of that. They vanish out, but ooh, you got caught. I suck at that link, but and then if you're really crazy, if you're really nasty, you know, they die. They just straight up die. They explode. They actually explode. Now that we know about the gap with the Eraser Blow, and his command grab works from any button. So I'm just gonna run through an example.
Gotcha, bitch.
Now, if you want to combo off of his command grab, you're gonna have to vanish if you don't have an assist. Like that. Now with an assist, shit, I did that wrong. You can do stuff like that, right? I don't know the exact timing, so as you can see I mashed, but that's something that you guys can figure out because the assist timing is dependent on the assist. But if you're mid-screen, more than likely you're going to want to use the heavy command grab because that reaches even farther, and you can combo off of it by yourself. Now that we've gone over some basic things to apply in his block string pressure, just remember, you see the angle on this? This move is very good at anti-airing people and catching people trying to jump around the screen. Usually, I don't play a beam assist on this team. My secondary team with Trunks plays beam assist, so throwing this out with a beam assist is great. Not necessarily from this range, but like if you catch people trying to jump at you, you know, you throw it, you call, it's probably better to call Gohan to bring them down, or you can call Goku, whatever. That's just with my team. And this is also air okay. It works in the air. It interacts with them on hit differently in the air than it does on the ground though. So I will showcase that later on. Keep note of that. Now that you guys have a somewhat basic understanding of his block strings, you can also throw Key Blast in his block strings, but I don't really advise against it since his since his Key Blast is -7 and it's punishable. But if you space yourself properly, sometimes you might not get punished for it, you know. I don't know. I haven't really tested it myself to see how I can interact with people with Key Blast on block, but it's an option, you know, keep people on their toes. A Key Blast is another thing that makes people like to reflect. If they if you kind of want to cover your bases, where is it? Oh my gosh. If you want to cover your bases, right? If you like to cover your bases, because people like super dashing after Key Blast sometimes, right? Because sometimes they think you're gonna keep throwing them. I mean, his kind of jail, but either they think you're gonna keep throwing them or you're going to what's the word? Fucking shit. Reset your string. I'm sorry. They think you might reset your string, right? So they might super dash at you. Or they might reflect. So here's what you can do, right? I haven't really tested this or applied it in a match. Maybe you guys can figure it out, but you can do something like this. delay your heavy command grab. Because this heavy command grab turns into an anti-air if they're off the ground. It turns into this grab. It's 214M. Oh, and I forgot about this grab, but it only works on people that are on the ground. So if you get a sliding or if they're standing, and it's very fast, so you're not gonna be able to take into it. So yeah, that grab is primarily used for combos. Maybe I'll show you guys one at the end of this match. Maybe I'll show you guys one at the end of this video. But that's how his block strings work. The heavy command grab will reach from whatever range, no matter how much you delay your command grab. Let me set him to block, actually. My bad, guys, my bad. Let me put him on guard. All. It's around the same timing, but it's really slow, so you're probably gonna get matched on, but it's an option. Now the combo I just did only works like that from mid-screen or in the corner. Now if you're farther away from the corner, like say you're right here, right? That's the route that you're gonna want to do. Or you can do this route. As you can see, that route did less damage. So something that a lot of Broly players don't know, and I still have to break this habit myself, or like they know it and they just have their muscle memory. I'm gonna show you in the other corner. Is that when you use your J2H early in your combo, and you're not doing like a super long combo, it actually does more damage. Now, what some people do is they'll do this. Well, most people, they'll do this, right? Right, they'll do that, or they'll do this. What you should be doing is this. That's the combo you should do, right? You see it does a little more damage, but at any level, sometimes 20 more damage or 30 more damage is what's going to determine if you are going to get the kill or not. So please, please, please practice that so then you guys get as much damage as you can. Now let's talk about how these moves work on hit, right? So 236L, you get a very small bounce. 236M, get a bigger bounce. They kind of like spin out more, and 236H, they pop up into the air, and you can do stuff like this all by yourself, right? That's a very basic 236H extension, right? You can do stuff like that. Now, if you want to combo off 236L or 236M on the ground, you need to use an assist. So as followed. Do that. Base Goku is the same. You do stuff like that. And in the air, it's the same rules. You know, you can do stuff like that. I messed that up. I was supposed to press medium again, but yeah. In the air, though, 236H does not behave like that because you're in the air, so they bounce up higher, so you have to do stuff like that. That's another very basic 236H conversion. He has like things that are a little more advanced. You know, you can throw that in there, but that's for another video. Now this is where 236M shines, right? It shines in the corner. Broly thrives in the corner. Now 236L, again, you're not gonna get anything off of that by yourself without an assist, right? But 236M gives you a wall bounce. And as you guys have seen me do on this channel before, if you're not new, if you are new, you're gonna see me do this plenty of times if you decide to subscribe. But yeah, so 236M leads into his rejump. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, that's for our next video. Maybe you'll see it at the end of this video. But what you guys can do for now, since you guys are just starting with this character, or if you're not comfortable with doing the rejumps, you can do something like this. This is still going to give you a good amount of damage. I messed up. You can do that. See, I'm not following my own rules. You can do that, or you can do this. 25 more, but it's worth it. It's not like it's any harder, it's worth it. Now, the combo you guys saw in the beginning, sometimes you'll want to go for it. The main time I ever go for that really is off of a Vanish confirm, so let's put ourselves in the corner, right? So this is what you want to do if you have people to the corner and you vanish. Well, if you're in the corner and you vanish. Delay this just a little bit, wait for them to bounce off the wall, dash forward, and so I don't know why that dropped, but yeah. Usually that works. Maybe off of less key less, or if I don't delay it as much. But yeah, that's the that's not basic, but it's a little intermediate. You know, the timing is a little weird, but if you practice it enough, you'll get it. Just make sure that you delay that after you grab them, so then you can get more bounce on them, because the higher they are, the higher they're gonna bounce. So yeah, make sure you do that. Now let's take a trip down to memory lane with eraser blow. Now remember when I said that you can do his grab after eraser blow? You see how hard it is, right? Now what you can do is you whip a Vanish, and then you grab them. Like so. Right? Now here's my rule of Broly, right? Wherever you are on the screen, always put them in the corner. He's more than capable, whether you need assists or you don't have assists, he's always capable of putting his opponent in the corner, and I'm going to show you why. So you see our backs to the corner, right? Now, when my back is to the corner, what I like to do, if I don't feel like spending bar or anything, this is the combo I like to do, right? Throws them back into the corner, and then you get a setup after, right? I'm probably gonna go over setups with Broly in the next episode. The next episode will be setups and his basic rejumps, but that is what you'll want to do if your back is to the corner. If you don't want to do that, you know, it's very simple. Oops. If you don't want to do that, you can just use assist, or you can use 236H. So say you get a hit like this. Very easy. Oh, would you look at that? He's in the corner, and if he gets touched again, he's going to die. Trust me, he's going to die. Now, it's the same thing with assists. I'm not going to use the base Goku assist because it gives you a shit ton of corner carry, but it's the same concept with assists. And he's in the corner. So whatever you do, no matter where you are, you better put that ass in the corner. You better get them in that corner. Because once you get them in that corner, you can have all your damn fun. And you can just fucking destroy them and maul them. But make sure you always put them in the corner. Please, please, please always put them in the corner. I see us Broly players that still have people mid-screen when they touch them. And it's just like, bro, it's so easy to put them in the corner. Even mid-screen, for example, right? You can literally put them in the corner from anywhere, even if you want to throw them into another corner because you're more comfortable playing on another side of the screen. this shit drags you halfway across the corner. I mean, halfway across the stage. And then you got that, which also drags you halfway across the stage. And then they're in the corner again. So please, always, always, always put them in the corner. Now that you guys have made it this far into the guide, I'm going to show you guys a preview of what will be in the next video. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. This is part 1 of the DBS Broly guide. Part 2 will be to you shortly, hopefully by next week. That'll include his basic rejumps and some more of his combos and his setups, like his meaty setups and everything. Thank you guys for watching again. I really appreciate you guys so much. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch and join my Discord. All of those links will be in the description, and the information will also be on the end card. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.